There are many great third row mid-size crossovers out there for growing families, but one that kind of falls a little bit under the radar that I think more people should check out is the Mazda CX-90. Hi, this is Joe from Way Scarff Ford, and today we're going to talk about this beautiful 2025 Mazda CX-90 3.3 Turbo Preferred. Let's dive in. So previously it was called the CX-9, but the 2024 model year they rebranded it as the CX-90. So it's not just a name change. The CX-90 is a little bit more upscale than the CX-9 it replaces. So rather than just competing with like the Toyota Highlander or the Honda Pilot, this is going after some bigger fish like BMW, Mercedes. Obviously, you can't compare this apples to a German brand. Obviously, there are some notable differences, but for someone that wants a mid-size third row crossover with a little bit more of a premium luxury feel and performance, the CX-90 is definitely one to consider. It's an absolute darling of the automotive press, one of my favorite automotive publications, Car and Driver magazine. For the 2025 model year, they get a 9.5 out of 10 on the CD rating, and it got the Editor's Choice Award for very good reason. Car magazines, they generally like vehicles that are fun to drive, and even though this is a rather large mid-size crossover with third row seating, once you get behind the wheel and get this thing moving, it is actually really fun to drive. And part of that is thanks to a new engine underneath this plastic engine cover. They're all guilty these days of having these just because there's so many pipes and hoses and wires. Engines aren't as elegant as they used to be when they were a lot simpler, but with emission regulations and trying to eke out as much power, performance, and efficiency, we have all this extra stuff on these engines. But you probably can't tell by looking at this, but Mazda has a new inline 6-cylinder engine. So most 6 cylinders are in a V configuration. These, the cylinders are in a straight line. Generally, inline 6-cylinder engines are smooth. They have lots of low-end torque. Some car companies that notably are using inline 6s is BMW. I mean, they've probably made more inline 6s than almost anyone else. They've mastered them. Mercedes has just came out with a new inline 6 that they're putting in their vehicles. And then and Dodge, Ram, Stellantis, that whole brand, they have a new inline 6 that they're also branding. This engine's fantastic. In this version of the CX-90, it makes 280 horsepower. You can have a more performance-oriented S version where it makes over 300 horsepower. I think it's like 320 horsepower. This thing is smooth, very fun to drive, and when it comes to handling and going around corners, it's also rewarding to drive. It has sporty handling, which you wouldn't expect for something this large. And these mid-size crossovers are kind of like the Goldilocks for growing families. You know, getting a full-size SUV like a Chevy Tahoe or Ford Expedition is just too big for a lot of people.